Hi everybody, Hassan Shariq, and it's a bit of a surprise. Um, Yesterday I made a video and uploaded with regards to the express entry round of invitation in which only PNP applicants were invited. Surprisingly, today IRCC conducted another draw under express entry, and this is the first time that they've done a federal skilled worker category specific draw. Really surprising. In the past, we have seen that there were CEC specific draws. During the COVID times, we saw many of those. But having a federal skilled worker category specific draw is something new. And kind of exciting as well because there's a lot of people out there. I have a lot of clients who are the FSWP applicants. And keep in mind that the Federal Skilled Worker Program applicants are not just only people who are outside of Canada. There are people who are in Canada who've recently completed their studies and still haven't had the 12 months of work experience here in Canada who are still considered as the Federal Skilled Worker Program category applicants. So good news for them. Let's quickly have a look at the details for the draw. The express entry pool remains the same, but let's have a look at the details for the draw that happened today. So let me drag this off. Here we are on the official page, and because I discussed the express entry pool yesterday, so I'm not going to get into that. The details for today's draw. So this was draw number 240th for express entry since it started. Today is Feb the 2nd, 2023. And this is the exciting part. This particular draw is specifically for federal skilled worker category, the first of its kind. A pretty healthy number of ITAs issued, 3,300. We saw that yesterday we had about 700 ITAs issued for the PNP program. And today 3,300. So in total, we've had about 4,000 ITAs issued. Now the CRS score stood at 489. So keep in mind, 2 weeks ago when we had the draw, that was an all programs draw on the 18th of January, and the cutoff score was 490, and that had dropped from 507. Now that was expected because this was a program specific draw and no CEC applicant was invited. So this is what was expected. And keep in mind that even if we add the total number of ITAs that were issued today and yesterday, that's about 4,000. So that's less than the 5,500 ITAs that were being issued in last few draws. And I had made a video as well where I thought that if we have a 5,500 people draw, like that was for yesterday, my expectation was that the cutoff would be between 486 to 488. Because this is 4,000, so we are observing that the score is around 489. Now this shows how competitive the pool is now. But few takeaways from this. First, I think that IRCC is now moving towards the concept of the targeted specific draws. And maybe right now it is going to be program specific draws, but probably starting from March, if not in Feb, we will see that there will be maybe occupation specific draws. There could be experience specific draws, wherein people with certain years of experience could be invited, or people with a certain education could be invited. So let's expect that, which will mean good news and bad news, as is with anything in the world. Good news for a lot of people who do not have scores as high as 480, or maybe 460s, 470s, but they are from a profession which is a high demand profession here in Canada. If they start doing those targeted occupation specific draws, people with even 460s, 470s might have a very good chance, because then not everybody will be picked from the pool. It will definitely be bad news for a few people. There are professions which at times are licensed profession here in Canada, and if those people are picked under the express entry pool, the all program express entry draws. Sometimes those people come here and they're not really able to contribute well towards the Canadian workforce, and that's what the government doesn't really want to do, like inviting immigrants who then have to make career switches, or who are not really able to right away contribute towards the shortage of labor force that is here in Canada. And also for the fact that this will be good news in the sense that when we start seeing this, and when we start seeing that, you know, the overall scores for express entry start dropping down, the cutoff scores for some other PNP programs also start dropping down. I'll give you an example that the PNP program that is there for Ontario, the OANP program, usually when they do a human capital priority stream draw, their cutoff scores are slightly below what the federal the express entry scores have been. So if express entry scores drop down, you can definitely expect the Ontario scores to come down a little bit. Alberta is always slightly low, and that will start easing some pressure on other PNP programs, which right now have a very high cutoff score. So with this, I'll ask for leave. Good luck to all the federal skilled worker program applicants who've been invited. Um, for sure, these are applicants um, who have some kind of experience in Canada. So many of you probably would be in Canada, or you have a sibling here in Canada. That's where you're getting the point, or you're getting the point for French. I would suggest, and I suggested this yesterday as well, and we have recently had a case in the federal court where you know, one particular so an applicant did not submit a police certificate. They actually did submit a police certificate, but it was not the format or the kind of certificate that was needed, and the application was refused as being incomplete. The applicant challenged it in the federal court, but the federal court persisted with the decision of the visa officer that you're required to submit a complete application. So for those who've received invitation, do seek professional services from somebody so that a professional can review your application. You don't really want to make a mistake in just one or two documents and then have your application sent back as incomplete. With this, I'll ask for leave, and I'll soon be back with another video on Canadian immigration. Till that time, take very good care of yourself and your family members. Bye bye.